Well, I clicked the wrong slide. XD. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final game of the regular season. Let me refresh my champ select, because we are already in champ select at the moment. And yeah, it's the final game of the regular season. And we have a possibility to claim first place. So we'll see how this one goes. Actually, I don't know how the tiebreakers work in this scenario, because basically the top 3 is going to be 300 white and us and a one-man army. Obviously we lost 0-2 to a one-man army previously, and 300 white actually beat a one-man army 2-0. So in theory this should be a very difficult match, if you take that at face value. Obviously teams will grow over the season and stuff like that, so we'll have to see how it goes. But yeah, at the moment, 300 white, they only have 2 losses, whilst a one-man army and a Pandaric, we both have 3 losses already. So if they 2-0 us right now, they will claim first spot in the regular season. But obviously, we have it in our own hands to take them down a notch, you know, give them 2 Ls and claim the top seed ourselves. But at the moment, the one-man army also needs to play one more game, just like us. And they are playing against Kanji, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they are. And they're currently last in the group, so you know, we can kind of expect them to 2-0 that matchup as well. So they have a really good chance at making first. But yeah, definitely a possibility for some tiebreakers at the top of the group here. Not sure how those tiebreakers are broken, but only the Lord may know. And we once again got 2 campers in the chat. Yeah, it is just gonna be 2 games here. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I have not really read the patch notes, so that is on me. But I know Tristana is pretty broken at the moment, if I'm not mistaken. So that might be a problem. Yeah, already the Silence has some decent ults, like the Cyclone is pretty nice to have. And already some good engage. I mean, both teams are having a pretty good draft at the moment. We'll see how they will round it out. Actually, let me see if I can quickly pull up the patch notes, so we can learn together.
Seems you left your brave pants at home.
Released 5 days ago. We got some nerfs for quite a lot of AD carries actually. We got nerfs for Ashe, Caitlyn, Jinx, Kai'Sa, and some nerfs to the Wei, which is a champion that Instinct likes to play as well in the mid lane. We'll see. I mean, Instinct also likes, you know, the more assassin type of champions. The Akali's, you know, the LeBlancs. Fortunately, LeBlanc already banned away. We'll see. But yeah, indeed, the Tristana getting buffed. Zahen also being out. I don't know if he's restricted from Prime League, because he's new. But he seems to be pretty broken, not gonna lie. But I think he also got some hotfix nerfs, if I'm not mistaken, but I'm not sure if that's already out or still in the workings. I can't quickly find them at the moment anyway. But yeah, anyway, the Wei will still be locked in regardless for Instinct here, regardless of those nerfs. And we can see both teams are pretty okay with having teamfight compositions. Now I will say, like Pandaric, they do have some good disengage. You know, Braum being able to protect the carries pretty well. The Cyclone can be used as a disengage tool as well. So, you know, Pandaric, they can also just sit back, let the Kai'Sa, let the Wei poke from a far distance, right? The Void Seeker, the Severing Bolt is a lot of range and a lot of poke that you can get down. And you can kind of whittle away at the tanks of 300 wide. Before they get that engage from the Silence, they get the multi-man stun from the Syndra, or maybe Rel finds a good angle. And you know, Kai'Sa and Wei also pretty good at you know, damaging the Cassante. And for now, I was gonna say, you know, that is usually pretty heavy on the magic damage side, because you're kind of relying on the Kai'Sa passive to do a lot of damage, usually on tanks. And obviously the way is magic damage as well. But with the set locked in, and we also have the Wukong, that seems a pretty balanced mix of both physical and magical damage, making it a little bit more difficult here for the Cassante to itemize against. But yeah, I do feel like, you know, Panaric, they have a bit more options if they want to play it a bit more patient. They can. Also, to set another great example of a disengaged champion. If they engage, you just use the showstopper and pull away whichever tank is annoying your AD carry. And then you get a bit more space here for Senny to work in these team fights. So that should be pretty good for the Panaric side. Yeah, the Tristana is pretty strong, so that might be a problem. Especially if we look at tools to lock her down, we don't really have that many, you know? Like, obviously we have the Cyclone, which we might also use defensively. Obviously Set can potentially stun, but it's not always a guarantee. Kai'Sa has no CC, you might be relying on the concussive blows from the Braum. But yeah, if this Tristana gets to kind of free hit in the team fights, that could be pretty scary. Obviously, the Kai'Sa also has quite a lot of DPS in her kit, but she's probably gonna struggle a little bit early on, because Tristana just has a lot of damage with her explosive charge. And obviously with the E passive, you're naturally always going to be pushing that wave as well. So an early level 2 is probable for the bot side of 300 white, and they can always you know, look to be aggressive with the Tristana, because her damage is pretty outrageous. Let me quickly find her exact buffs that she got this patch. No, it's just 80 growth, so it's not actually that bad. Alright, I mean, fair enough. And obviously, she got a new skin. So, are those connected? Who knows? Who knows? Only Riot may know. And yeah, we also got a variety of jungle champions now being available, like the Ambessa, the Cho'Gath, the Malphite, the Ornn, and Riven, all getting buffs to their jungle clear, so I wonder if we're gonna see any of those champions in the spotlight. And also Mel got some significant buffs as well to her kit. Getting a bit more damage on her passive and getting more root on her E. So yeah, we'll see if we get those champions in the second game. But for now, we have a pretty standard team composition for both teams, I would say. But I do feel like Panaric has some advantage with the fact that they have a lot of long range with the Kai'Sa and the Wei. That might be difficult to deal with, but on the other side, we do have, you know, a lot of scaling and high damage from both the Syndra and the Tristana, which can be a problem. Some people always forget that Syndra is like pretty strong in scaling wise, and even in the laning phase she's quite strong. So, you know, once she gets the access to her second Q, she can just perma push in the mid wave, kind of like most mages do nowadays, to be fair. And then obviously you have the scatter the weak. You can get some picks off with the stun. And it looks like the Wei nerfs are mostly focused on his Molten Fissure, which is the lava pool that he uses to clear minion waves. So it makes a lot of sense that his wave clear is going to be a lot less. I'm seeing this correctly. Yeah, they actually nerfed it quite significantly. With 70 damage at max rank, but they gave him 10% AP scaling more. So it's mostly going to be the early games where the scaling is going to be or the wave clear is going to be a bit less. And we're also on the winter map. Isn't that lovely? Let me quickly switch to the in-game screen. I stop yapping about wave clears. And we start enjoying the game itself. Because we got some level 1 action. Morale being slowed down here. The Winter Spite will connect, but gets out of dodge. But in the meantime, on the other side, it is Ranger finding the rest of the 300 white squad. It will also be safe. I mean, some first strike money collected by Barry B. So GG, mid lane over. If I'm Sinstinct, I know who I am blaming. That's what I'm saying. Not sure why the timeline is still there. There we go. But yeah, I mean, I feel like for Pandaric, it's all going to be about getting in a disengage and playing the game patiently and letting the poke do its work. If they get impatient, then that could be a problem. We do actually get Instinct playing the lane in the bot side here together with Turtle, and it's going to be a Kaisa mid from Senny. We'll see what the man can cook. Let me quickly see if I can mute my client sounds. Nope, right is a bitch. Unlucky. We'll see how Senny is gonna do in the mid lane, but I feel like might be a bit tough as well. But the bot lane will be tough as well, so either way, some difficulties for the Kaisa. But maybe the mid lane a bit more manageable. I mean, I feel like it's so difficult to play into the Syndra though. Because as Kaisa or any AD carry, if you want to outdamage a mage, you want to have a extended fight, right? Because the mage is just gonna pop their free spells, basically, their combo. And then once you get out. And as an AD carry, you kind of want to have the chase down afterwards when those spells are on cooldown. But with Syndra, you're just gonna get stunned and then you don't get the chance to really get the chase down. And Syndra also has quite decent range here, so getting in some autos or any other spell like a Q without getting damage yourself is pretty difficult. So I feel like those traits are going to be pretty favored for the Syndra. And we actually got a little bit of an invade going on. The Ranger is gonna spot out the Silas. And we'll take away the blue buff, so that's pretty big here. Turtle is around the corner, is gonna flash Q and it will connect here. But the other backup has arrived as well for 300 white. It will be first blood collected by Pandaric though. But now Barry B on the chase as well. The Blastcomb will be used by Turtle. And does get out of dodge here. So both junglers going down, but first blood in the hands of Pandaric. And as well the blue buff going in the hands of Ranger. But does have that little bit of an advantage. Oh, Instinct has to be careful. Okay, the Fear connects, so should be just fine. Yeah, life is not getting much easier here for Sunny. But he's keeping up in CS pretty well though, so... Oh, Ranger has to be careful because the rest of the team is right behind Questionable. Oh, hold on here. This could be dangerous. The concussive blows almost fully stacked here, and Sunny is just around the corner. And already both these teams are so aggressive with the invades. The supports are permanently roaming, ready to assist their junglers. Absolutely beautiful to see this level of tempo from both teams. And once again, they are not stopping. The blue buff stolen away from Ranger. That is karma, my friend. Comes right back at you. No smite needed. Yeah, I'm expecting, like, Kaisa has like so many different builds, but I'm expecting the pretty standard build with Kraken Slayer into Ginsu's. And then probably a Nash's too, so you can get the upgraded W and get a bit more poke in. We'll see if Sandy's gonna cook anything else. And again, these junglers are just brawling it out at the moment. Nice clone there from Ranger to get away from the chains. And again, the support is right behind. Both these teams are not sleeping. They're fighting right from the get-go. Yeah, I mean, I feel like mid lane and both bot lane should both get pushed for 3 and a white here, so a dragon should be highly probable here for 3 and a white if they want to go for it. Questionable currently at the top side of the map here, so if Fnatic want to take advantage of this timing that they have right now, they could. And they might, because Ranger is in the bot side now. Currently not spotted, so if they let this wave push in, then maybe they can get a kill, but the Tristana being level 6, it's going to be a difficult gank here. So instead, they're gonna use that time to just start off the dragon, but by now questionable already at the bot side here, so through the white probably will look to contest for this at least, as Turtle gets stunned up here. Manuel able to fire from the backline, but look at the Rel, so squishy. And I think with that kill picked up, gone a bit too deep too early on. And Fnatic, they take full advantage of it. Oh, the fear missing. Movement speed will help out though. And yeah, the dragon will get collected. So well played from Fnatic. They realize questionable is at the top side. They use that window to push out the waves and collect the dragon before 300 white. And use their lane pressure. And Sandy, yeah, the barrier. Not enough, and feeling the wrath of this Syndra lane at the moment. Well played by Barry B to capitalize on that. And I mean, it has not been easy for Sandy. Like, first of all, the 1v1 against the Syndra, but the amount of times questionable and the Rel have been around the mid lane as well. Makes it only more difficult for him to play out the laning phase. And well, they're right back at it, taking the Raptor camps away this time. I mean, this is the type of League of Legends I like. I don't know about you guys, but this is exciting. None of that sitting back in lane and farming. No, we're just going straight at it from minute 1. Permanently invading, supports roaming all the time. Fighting for every damn objective on the map. If we can get 2 games of this, I'll be very happy. Again, that Cyclone being stolen here by questionable. Can I get the follow-up though? The tower is there to support though. A lot of damage coming out from the Kaisa, and here comes the real Cyclone. No copycats, it's the real deal. And Barry B will fall down as well. And sometimes the original is just a bit better than the copycat. Well, most of the times anyway. And grips available for Fnatic here. I don't think they can't really contest at the moment, but they are looking to do so. Turtle now dropping low, will be ignited now. The all-out juice here by 9th May. That can't really convert into the kill, and now the Rel alone, isolated, will get taken down. Questionable 9th May now looking to gather or group up together. The Haymaker coming through to support Soap from staying alive a bit longer. It's a double kill for Sandy, now Barry B in the backline as well. But so far every kill has gone the way of Fnatic. As they're now 7-2 up, but they will look to surrender the grubs for now at least. Chain's going in here, questionable going in here, the double stun, so much damage coming through for 300 white to get shutdowns all over the place. And now Barry B alive on their own. And Soap still standing, but the ultimate is still available for Barry B, and somehow they turn around this fight. It was so good for Fnatic at the start, but it is Barry B and questionable that turn it around in the end as the teleports come through. And just like that, they turn it around. And the grubs are still standing. Yeah, this Syndra is a problem. 3-1 and 3 at the moment. 6 stacks on that Dark Seal. Now completing the first item as well. Yeah, let's not forget to mention, like, the Grubs are still alive, so we might be getting ready for round 2 here. At the moment, the turtle is hovering the bot side, so not prioritizing the Grubs at the moment here, just giving a bit more room to Instinct to push out the wave in the bot side and allowing Ranger to invade here on the bot side of the map. And you'll see it will be mirrored by Questionable on the top side as well. This means that Manuel has to be a bit more careful here being alone in the bot side. With 3 members here of Pandaric. So instantly the rotate comes through from the rail, allowing a bit more safety for the Tristana. And I don't think Pandaric want to go for the dive anymore. And it will be called off. Yeah, it has been really cool seeing the rotates from both supports here. They've been very active on the map, and now Soap maybe feeling the wrath of this duo here as a double showstopper. We use the Haymaker, does so much damage, and Soap will be able to trade 1-for-1 underneath the tower. And that is the danger of diving a Zed. Getting that massive shield is always going to be a problem. Yeah, he will lose out on that farm in the top lane, obviously, so in the end it's not too bad here. Or 300 wide. But probably not as clean as they would have liked. And in the meantime, the Tristana Syndra duo are slowly scaling up for that late game. 100 farm on both those carries. And slowly, the first items will be completed across the board here. It's only really Manuel missing out on the first item at the moment. But I assume we'll be able to pick that up once the base comes through. As the dragon is alive now as well. And we'll see if Pandaric wants to contest there. We do see the bot lane moving in, but at the moment it's a 2 versus 4 Ranger. Probably not that interested, it's gonna move towards the Herald at the moment. Or the Grubs, excuse me. Which will be warded up here by the 9th of May. The question is, do they want to contest and move to the top side? I don't think they do. I mean, to be fair, it is... I mean, I don't want to say big, but it's pretty nice taking it away from a Tristana, because Tristana with Grubs can absolutely melt towers in seconds. So denying that pushing ability is pretty nice. Oh, hello there. Well, chains connecting with the Instinct. The Spirally Despair will be dodged out on. And Instinct will be able to connect his own. But not interested in going for that fight, so gets out of dodge there. Come on, pick up the flowers. Don't forget about the flowers, guys. If you see them on the map, just hit them. Gives your team a little bit of adaptive force and XP. As the top laners keep blowing out punches to each other. Oh, hold on there, Manuel jumping in. Does have the Yuntal arrows available now. Redemption will be used to heat up Instinct a little bit here, and a dive is very possible with 4 members available in the bot side of the map. Sunny and Ranger moving in at the moment as well. Instinct looking to take away the wave here, so the dive is going to be a bit more difficult, and it looks like Frina White is a little trapped at the moment. Do they want to pull the trigger? In a 4 versus 4 underneath the tower, it can get very dangerous here. The engage still available here for Pandaric as well if they want to. It looks like both teams are not really interested in pulling the trigger, so they'll slowly disengage here. But now Pandaric may be a little bit out of position here if Frina White moves back to the mid lane. They can threaten that tier 1 here. And on the rotation, it's Senny and Ranger being caught off guard here by the Magnus Storm. The double stun up from the rail, but Senny still staying alive, not having enough damage though to take down Barry B, who is having an absolute game here on the Syndra. And in the meantime, the rest of Pandaric are running back to that tier 1 tower, looking for safety, but I don't think they will find it there with the low HP bars and the hungry 300 white right around the corner. Will they commit to the dive? It looks like no, they're happy with what they found. This game was 7-2 for Pandaric in kills at some point. So 300 white, they are shown up big time in the last couple of fights here. Yeah, honestly, that was very well played by 300 white. They realized Pandaric is out of position there, having 4 members of Pandaric caught between, well, in the bot lane, basically around the tower. It means they can't really quickly go back to the mid lane anymore. You catch off that rotation. And, well, Pandaric, they don't respect it. They get caught off guard by the rail. And they regret their decisions here. And, well, instantly we're back to more action here as Turtle jumps straight into the Frail. And look at the damage our Ranger instantly deleted from the Summoner's Rift here. But Sunny and Instinct from the backline looking to fire back. Barry B now maybe under trouble. The Haymaker will be dodged out on by the Blast Cone. That could have been a lot of damage there actually. Yeah, I mean another kill picked up here by 300 white. They keep the invades up. They keep up mounting the pressure. In the meantime, Manuel taking down that bot lane tower as well. And Pandaric under a lot of pressure here. White, they just feel so comfortable going for these invades, because you always have the engage from the Silas and the Rel. You always have the damage available whenever Barry B is around. Can just instantly delete these waves and move around the map with the team. And that's basically what's happening around here. And the damage can just not be matched at the moment. The Wei and the Kai'Sa, they just don't have the same amount of burst at the moment. It is a 2-item Syndra. Maybe even getting the Magi soon. Who knows? Yeah, it is like I said, like Pandaric, they really want to play it a bit more patient and let the poke do the work, but at the moment the poke is just not the same as this Syndra that is doing a lot of work here. Need some more items on the Kai'Sa and the Wei. Especially for the Kai'Sa, because she needs the upgraded W to really get the poke in, obviously. And that takes a little while. Ginsu's Rage Blade now being built up here, but a dragon fight on the horizon. And Pandaric are carefully but surely going for the engage. A double knockup from Ranger, the Cyclone hitting perfectly, but no follow-up means there's no danger for the carries. And both the Syndra and the Tristana stay alive. Sinstinct in the meantime has been dropped down, and so has Sandy, and that spells the end here of the team fight for Pandaric. A triple kill for this Syndra. Barry B absolutely smurfing it this game. And they didn't even break a sweat that fight. At no point were the carries really in trouble. Yeah, the engage from Ranger was pretty nice, but it's like I said, the Senny or the Kai'Sa doesn't have the poke at the moment, and so does the Wei. And committing to the Killer Instinct might be a bit dangerous. Could be an option as well, obviously. Yeah, the follow-up really wasn't there at the moment. And now Soap feeling the wrath of the all-out here. It's gonna get close, so the punches are coming back from Soap as he gets the shot down. I mean, look at this. Steel-plated caps, Tormill, Iceborne Gauntlet. Not a problem for Soap here. Does have the Black Cleaver, so that's gonna help out Sandy a lot as Ranger in these team fights. Losing that armor at least a little bit. Oh, Turtle, my friend, be careful, as he will get locked down here. Has to flash away from the Scatter the Weak. And now the Atakan available on the top side of the map as well. Will that be pressured? Sandy dodging out on the chains, luckily. Does now complete the Ginchu's Rage Blade, which is pretty big, but Still doesn't have that W poke, is still looking to complete that. Questionable taking a little bit of damage here. Does use the Cyclone, but the chains unfortunately not hitting again. So Sunny in safety. He does get dragged in by the Magnet Storm. Now flash forward, Cyclone onto Sunny. Killer Instinct to dodge out of the Silas. But Ranger will fall regardless. And that is no smite available for Pandaric. Sandy flashing forward, but gets instantly knocked down. Doesn't get the kill onto the Silas. Thought he had enough damage to deal with the Silas.
Red team's turret has been destroyed. Red team's turret has been destroyed.
But instead, it is Sandy that's looking questionable at the moment. And it will be the Attican available for 300 white. Yeah, 300 white, they're just playing the map really well. They're playing around their mid laner, allowing Barry B to do the damage in these fights. And I like that questionable, even though I think at some point he was like 1 and 5 or something on the Silas. He's not afraid to go in. He doesn't let that affect him. And rightfully so, because with the damage of Barry B behind them, they're able to win those fights. And you cannot second guess that in the moment. Oh, Soap maybe he has a position here. Okay, actually, I guess Barry B knew somehow. I'm not sure. Yeah, Soap will get sniffed out of that bush. But can't really do anything to protect this tower here. As the siege continues here. Death cap now as well on Barry B, so that damage wasn't already high enough, then certainly gonna feel it now. Oh, hold on there, maybe they have the pick here. Instinct around the corner as well. Concussive blows are stacking up here onto the Cassante. Does use the flash to get away, so overall not that big of a deal. And they're still looking to sniff him out. I mean, at this point, I don't think Pandaric can fight for the dragon. It's spawning in 30 seconds, so they're committing to getting this kill onto the Cassante. And 9th May will be able to at least give this information to the team. But yeah, I don't think Pandaric can really kill this guy, so instead they'll have to look for the tower. Yeah, they don't have the minions at the moment. I mean, they'll have some more time, at least. I may look to go a bit more aggressive, but the Rel, once again, right spot, right time here, but it looks to be enough damage here, but the Spine and Despair coming through. Now a Cyclone being used as well, picks up another kill. Manuel there, able to collect at least one more back for the team. And all of a sudden map, the Dragon will be getting picked up here. But yeah, the tower still stays alive. It's only a 1 kill advantage, so it's basically a kill for a Dragon, which is more than okay here for 3 and a white. They did very well in realizing that Pandaric was giving up on that dragon. And realizing they only really need 1 or 2 members to be on the dragon. Allowing the rest to move up and support 9th May underneath the tower. And at the moment it is a 9k gold lead for 3 and a white. And it's not like this team composition is gonna fall off in the late game. I'll tell you that much. This Tristana and Syndra duo is going to be very scary. So we need some really strong team fighting here, or a nice pick from Pandaric, but The way 3 and White has been playing, they've been playing very well together. They've been using the vision well. And they've really not given many opportunities here, as the Baron is getting started off here at the moment. Soap needs to teleport in there if they want to contest it. And Eric looking to poke away in the meantime. The engage coming into Senny, but he dodges away from the Magnastorm as well. Well played by Senny, just barely on the edge of that. And a lot of poke coming through here. The Killer Instinct is coming through. Senny gets a kill, but now in the backline, all on his own. The Cyclone here to help here as well. Ranger taking a lot of damage. Redemption used as well. Soap has arrived to the battle as well. Manuel taking a lot of damage. The Spiraling Despair connecting as well. That's a shutdown picked up by Soap here. The Haymaker being used. Xanta is dropping low. Soap finally gets taken down in the backline. There's going to be a 2-for-2 at the moment. Ranger is still alive here, but questionable. Oh my god, that is so much damage! With the Atacon as well. Blows them all up here. The Baron picked up as well. And it's going to be an ace for 300 White as they siege back in the mid lane. And yeah, I mean, it's a nice pick onto the Rel, but I don't know. I don't think it was necessary to go in there. Because Senny was in such an awkward position afterwards in that fight. And now the base is cracked open. Senny now on 3 items though. Does have that W poke available. Instinct really looking for that death cap as well. Now for now, at least the inhibitors haven't been taken down yet, so that's going to reduce the time of Baroned up super minions pushing into your base. So at least Pandaric has that going for them. But other than that, it's looking pretty damn rough at the moment. 12k gold lead here for 300 White. The Syndra on an absolute tear. 4 items completed already. And at the moment, the poke damage, I mean, that is the only hope that Derek has, but just not dealing enough damage at the moment to deal with this onslaught from 300 White, who are relentlessly pushing into the base. And Senny gets hit by the chains here, has to flash away, but it will cost the life of Turtle. Paying for the sins of his AD carry. And now in a 4 versus 5, it's looking pretty dire here for Pandaric, as Soap is dropping low. They get the shutdown on the questionable actually. Instinct now getting absolutely destroyed here by the Tristana. The Cyclone hitting 2 members here. But there's no follow-up here with the Tristana ult being used. And the Nexus is already exposed. And will seal the end of game number 1 here. Very well played by 300 White. They played the map beautifully throughout the game. And yeah, maybe Pandaric going a little bit, being a bit too impatient, I think. We'll have to see if they can bring it back in game number 2. Yeah, I mean, obviously, like this game is a beauty to watch, right? Like both teams being so active on the map, going constantly for invades, preparing for the objectives all the time, and just being ready to fight throughout the game is just really nice to see. For both teams, you can see they have their macro down and that they're communicating with each other very well. And I mean, obviously Barreby had an absolutely banger game on that Syndra as well. And yeah, we'll see if there will be draft adaptations. It looks like we are going to be switching sides this time. So we'll be right back for a little bit, and then in just a few minutes we'll come back with the draft for game number 2. So don't go anywhere, because maybe Pandaric can close it with a classic Pandaric 1-1. And welcome back to game number 2, and this time we swap sides here. But once again the Tristana in the hands here of Manuel. And also the Silas being picked again. So it looks like they're running it back for the moment. But we're definitely having some changes. There we have the Sunny Varus this time around, no longer playing the Kai'Sa. So having a bit more range in the laning phase and some poke is always going to be pretty nice. And okay, we're gonna get the Poppy locked in. Give some more space to Sunny here. To deny chains, to deny the Tristana jump in. And any other potential dashes that might come through here. And to be fair, this Abessa, you know, could still go jungle. It's weird to say, but it is possible. But we'll see if that comes through or not. I mean, let's see what Benzo come through. The Cassante once again being locked in as well. Not really too surprising there. And what are we missing? We're missing the Syndra from Barry B. We'll see if that gets bent away, and the Rel. Obviously the Rel a bit more difficult to play into the Poppy that we have locked in right now. And I expect, you know, us to play normal lanes this time around.
Think carefully, my friend.
I mean, even the Poppy can go multiple places, right? So you can play top, you can play jungle, you can play support. So we'll have to see where these champions will slot in for Pandaric. But they have multiple options at the moment. And then we got a Blitzcrank, will get banned away. But you know, Poppy can't really do anything about if your AD carry gets hooked in, so it makes sense, I guess. Not sure if this is like a champion played a lot by the enemy support. But I trust Pandaric, they'll have done their research. And it will be the Leona locked in here. So once again, that is countered a little bit by the Poppy. Obviously you can still use the Solar Flare from a distance. And use that as an engage. And I wonder if Barry B is gonna once again lock in that Syndra in the mid lane. But obviously it does have the freedom of getting the counter pick, so can't wait here to see what Instinct is gonna lock in. But we're gonna get a Soap Darius, it looks like, and then we're gonna get the Ambessa in the jungle, so we are cooking the draft here. And it does mean like we're gonna have to invest a little bit in the top side here and giving Soap some space to cook with this Darius in the 1v1 matchup. But at the same time here you have Leona, Tristana bot lane. That is going to be pretty intense as well, so I can imagine both junglers wanting to hover around that as well. And we're gonna get the Rise from Instinct. I don't think I've seen him play Rise before. Okay, we're gonna finish off with a Ziggs. So playing it from a distance, getting the range in. And that is also a lot of sieging potential here for both the Ziggs and the Tristana. That's pretty scary. Yeah, even for the Silas, you have the Chain of Corruptions and the Public Execution available, so some good tools to catch-up card and AD carry. Specifically an immobile AD carry, you know. So Sandy does have to be on high alert yet again. But you know, he's an AD carry man, that's nothing new to him. And I guess same can be said to his instinct as well. Because yeah, I mean, we do have kind of similar team comps from last game. Right, I mean, Ranger is going to be relatively the same. I mean, I feel like the Wukong is a bit easier to get engages with the Cyclone compared to the Public Execution. Yeah, I mean, you know, it still stands that he is going in the backline and he's going to be disruptive in those team fights, looking for engages with the 500 dashes that the champion has. You know, we have Soap on the carry champion. I mean, the Darius not able to counter the engages from 300 wide as much. You know, you do have the showstopper on set, which is pretty useful for doing so, but no longer having that available. But you get some more power in the 1v1 here. So the Cassante is going to be under a bit more pressure in the top lane this time around. So we'll see how Soap can manage the top side. And Sunny should be, you know, off way better in the bot lane playing this virus than compared to the Kai'Sa. Let me double check here actually. I can't remember if Varus got affected by any of the patch notes or if he was unaffected. It seems like he was not affected at all, so that's pretty neat. Yeah, I mean, Varus is one of his favorite champions, or at least one of his most played champions. I don't know what's his favorite, but it's probably Vayne if I had to guess. But you know, regardless, yeah, he has a lot of playtime on this champion, and he usually does pretty well. So we'll have to see. If we can get some change in the bot side here. Should be able to contest those waves a lot more compared to last time. Yeah, honestly, I mean, I don't know how the Ryze versus Ziggs matchup is gonna go. Obviously, Ryze will skill pretty well into the late game and does a lot of damage, but it's very close range compared to the Ziggs, who can just sit back. So I feel like it's going to be a pretty uninteractive laning phase for his Instinct here, who just has to sit back and farm away the minion waves and doesn't really get to interact much with the Ziggs. And it does probably mean that Barry B once again gets to have the shove early on. But we'll see how that one develops. And you know, because Ryze usually likes to go for some more HP items, he should be off pretty well in the side lanes in the late game as well. Especially compared to a Wei, who is a lot more squishy and vulnerable to those engages from 300 wide. So we'll have to see how Instinct will use that in the late game. But yeah, I mean, the Ryze should be pretty good in dealing with the Cassante and the Sylas jumping into the front line. Do you guys remember like the machine gun Ryze, one of the old reworks? Where he had like the passive. I can't remember how it exactly works, but those were the days, man. Those were the days. Absolutely just mashing your keyboard. I mean, it's probably for the better that it's gone, I'll be honest. But it was kind of funny. Alright, let's hop into the game. Final game of the season here. Can we close it with at least a victory? I mean, that would be pretty neat. But we already know, Frino White, our team to be feared.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
And already from minute 1, it is Frino White going for a little bit of cheese. I mean, realistically, Soap is gonna spot it out. If they go for the... Okay, they're not going for it. Okay. So, no spots coming through at all. Top lane is having a dance off. I respect that. I didn't even know Cassandra could do that. What the hell? He's a bird. Let me get the zoom out as well, by the way. There we go. Yeah, I'm not expecting much to happen in the mid lane. The bot lane should be pretty interesting though. And this Poppy should be pretty annoying as well if we get a similar amount of realms here as in the last game. Having a W available to block out multiple engages here. Oh, that's still barely not connecting there for Turtle. Yeah, we could already see on the top side Soap is having a way better time this time around. Both junglers are actually, only Ranger is pathing towards the top side, but it was questionable just clearing the top side and then looking for something, but he's just gonna go for the quick recall here. Picks up a Dark Seal early on. I will delay the jungle clear a little bit. Does mean that Sunny and Turtle have to be a bit careful here. I mean, they have the wave in a pretty nice position here. They know that Ranger is gonna path towards bot side, or towards top side, excuse me. So they know they might potentially be in a 3 versus 2, so they keep the wave close to their tower, so they don't get caught off guard by any ganks. So that's pretty well played here for the Panaric bot side. Keeping themselves in a pretty safe spot. I mean, the wave is starting to... No, it's actually still in a decent spot at the moment. Yes, it should be the final games for the day, and it's first blood for Pandaria. That was... I'm not sure what happened there, but... Seems like a classic flash forward from the Rise, a route into insta-kill onto Barry B. But yeah, at the moment, 300, they only have 2 losses. And they're the only team that has 2 losses. So if they go flawless, then they secure themselves top 1. And otherwise, we might get some tiebreaker scenarios. I'm not sure how those work. Since they maybe in a rough spot here. But Ranger is around the corner as well. The chains will connect here, so the engage comes through for questionable. A lot of damage here on the Instinct, but in the meantime, Barry gets absolutely annihilated underneath the tower. Ranger will probably have to pay the price here though. And there we go, the shutdown comes through. 2 stacks here on the Dark Seal collected for questionable. Yeah, you can see how annoying this Poppy is. Dragon now up and available as well, and with this wave pushing a nice stun into the wall here. Leona locked up at the moment, but Manuel Fury firing. So low on HP, will the kill be finished off? Yeah, finally, there we go. Turtle picks up that kill. And Ranger was around the corner just in case anyway. I mean, they can be pretty dangerous, you know, when you have such a big minion wave as well. Yeah, we'll see if Panaric look to convert that into the dragon as well. I mean, we have to remember last time around, I feel like the game started off relatively similar, you know, Panaric getting some kills, doing pretty well in the fights, and then 3 White, they just completely turned it around on that group fight. So we'll see if... Oh, poor Ranger. Oh no, all the recalls being cancelled. But yeah, we'll see if Panera can play the game out a bit more smoothly this time. It's only a 400 gold lead at the moment, so nothing too big here. Soap is having a good time in the top side though. Having himself a 15 farm lead at the moment. Yeah, actually, I mean, it's a 400 gold lead and there's a kill onto the Poppy, so... You know, not really where you want to have your gold lead. And the dragon will be picked up here by 300 white actually in the meantime. Uncontested. And the ghost will be popped here by Soap. We're just getting the top lane POV. The ult is available here for Soap if he wants to use it. Ranger in the backside as well. So Soap is gonna bait in here. Ranger will be spotted out actually. Public execution available. Will hit onto Soap here. Passive has run out here. Can he get the Q hitting in? No, he cannot. And it's a 1 versus 3 here for Ranger. And I think that's a little too much to handle. And for Inner White, they perfectly deal with the Darius right there. Wasn't able to get the heal off from the Q. And also the passive running out from that earlier fight is pretty massive. Oh, hold on, Manuel may be in trouble here. The chain of corruption hitting as well. Flash available, but the steadfast presence is gonna deny the escape. And that's the work of the Poppy right there. And that is pretty big. That's an entire wave denied as well. Kill picked up by Senny. Uh-oh. Da-dum. Da-dum. It looks like Senny is gonna die, and he will blow up 2 pieces. Barry B will be able to pick that up, and in the meantime, Manuel just moving towards the mid lane. So yeah, Senny staying a little too long here, and is actually gonna lose out on a wave on his own, so that's a bit unfortunate after what they were able to get earlier on. Turtle just being an absolute menace. Love to see that. Oh, the root is gonna come through here. Questionable, maybe in danger. They're pushing back towards Instinct right there, but the Keeper's Verdict is gonna make it a little bit unfair here for Turtle. But not to worry, because he is still in safety. Well, the re-engage was so close. Yeah, Soap was actually moving towards the mid lane in the meantime as well, but will return back to lane. Nice dodge there from the Cassante. Yeah, you can see how difficult that lane is for Instinct. Especially once the Ziggs gets a bit more items here. You're basically just playing dodgeball, you know? And that is the mid lane for Instinct at the moment. But no, you should be just fine, able to skill up in the late game. Is keeping up with CS pretty well. And then once we get that late game, Rai should be pretty decent into the Cassante and the Silas. Once we get there. Nice cancel from Turtle, well played. Yeah, this is the power of the Poppy with flash forward. You can't really dodge that, can you? But the Keeper's Verdict will make it semi-even as the teleport comes in from Barry B. And we'll collect the kill finally. Poor Sunny. And they throw the kitchen sink at him and more. Turtle will look to freeze this wave eventually. Oh, Sinstinct. Oh, he's going forward. But the public execution still available. Barry B will die. It is actually Ranger here into the fight. From out of nowhere, from thin air, he appears into the battlefield. But would it be enough here as Turtle is now here as well? But Sinstinct already so low. And for a second, I thought that was... I'm confused. I thought that was Silas stealing the public execution, but I think that was actually Ranger from outside my screen. Turning that into a 2v2. Yeah, with this Ziggs being so squishy, gets taken down immediately. But yeah, the Silas is becoming a bit of a problem here. 3-0-1 at the moment for questionable. An absolutely fantastic job here last game as well. But at a bit of a rougher start. But nevertheless, that didn't stop him from finding engage after engage. And he'll look to do the exact same in this game. And now the dragon up and available as 3 white. We'll start that one off. Having the bot lane priority, they get the move in first. But not soon after, Pandaric will wander down the river as well. As they look to go for the fight. Soap does not have the teleport available, neither does Knife of May. So it will be a pure 4v4 here as the dragon will get secured by questionable. Root will be used here onto the Leona, which will be the sacrifice for this dragon, it seems. But overall, that's pretty worth it here for 3 white. The kill actually picked up by the Poppy as well. I don't really think that was necessary. I guess afraid that the Leona might still have flash. Didn't want to risk it. But yeah, I mean, that's not really optimal, right? He has a 3-0 Poppy at the moment for Pandaric. Which, I mean, if those 3 kills were into Senny, it'd be in a lot better place here for Pandaric. But hey, it is what it is. So yeah, I mean, that means there's gold lead. It's a 1k gold lead for Pandaric at the moment. You know, taking into consideration that the 3 kills are onto the Poppy and that the 3 white has 2 dragons as well. I would say they're actually in a pretty good spot at the moment, 3 white. I mean, the Cassante has recovered pretty well on the top side, you know. Is 0-0-2 at the moment, is keeping up with CS. Has not given Soap that solo kill that he desperately is looking for. And that is not an easy task, you know. But Darius is pretty strong early on. And I feel like both these, or you know, for both these teams, we'll have to look at the jungler in the fights because they have a lot of burst damage here, and this time it's Sinstinct getting caught off guard here. The double knockback from Barry B, followed by the Mega Inferno Bomb here, is a lot of damage, and Sinstinct will evaporate just like that. And well, the Herald is right there for the taking. On the bright side, Sandy does get to have a free time in the bot lane, having that gold lead in his back pocket. But yeah, it will be traded for a Herald as well. But you know, we can assume we'll take a tower later on. So I guess Pandaric there fine, giving away the Herald, giving Sandy some solo gold for that bot lane tower. Now so Tusk with a 1 versus 2 will dodge out on the change, has the ghost there, double pull in, double heal. Will be able to escape from death. Now his team is moving in as well, the change almost connecting. I feel like maybe for the better that those missed for questionable, because Turtle and Sunny have arrived to the top side as well, but it doesn't stop questionable from being aggressive and right in the face of Soap. And the Herald will be used in the mid lane. Well, Sunny has to be careful because his tower will go. The rest of his team now is available. The steadfast presence is gonna deny that fallback for questionable as it gets locked down and stunned up here. Will finally get, actually still staying alive in the backline. How is he alive? Sunny flashing forward, but he can't finish the kill either. And somehow questionable just keeps on living. The dream Silas. And it's all left onto Instinct. And yet again, Fnatic, they're playing so well throughout this game, but it's just this one fight that comes slamming down in their faces. And last time it was the Sylas jungle as well. It was the Syndra-Sylas duo fighting around those groups, and somehow the Sylas just did not die. They couldn't finish off that kill. And now it happened again. And just like that, 3-0 white, they swing the game in their favor yet again. 2 dragons. And a nice 3k gold lead on top of that as well. Make that a 3rd dragon as questionable starts off another one. And I mean, getting a mounted soul on top of Cassante and Sylas is not going to be a fun time, I can tell you that much. Also will make it that more difficult to finish off any kills in the backline as, I mean, look at Barry B, he's just zoning away 2 members of Fnatic on his own. Look at the damage from the Ziggs. We're starting to get a line as well. We'll use that ultimate. As Ranger is dropping lower and lower, forced to flash away. Nice pull in from Soap. Stacks up that passive, but yeah, I mean, enough tank items here. Having the Tormill on the Cassante, providing enough protection here. It's Instinct, maybe it's getting in some damage, but it's just not enough at the moment. We'll still have the Zonias available if needed. And Turtle is just getting absolutely annihilated underneath his tower. And the Satchel is putting Instinct in danger as well. As Ranger is gonna get the re-engage. Sure, you get the shutdown. But it's 3 kills in the back pocket of 300 white yet again. And I feel like we have seen this time and time again where Fnatic, they're so desperate to get that 1 kill, but they lose everything for it. It's just not worth it. The Attica now available on the bot side of the map as well. I mean, no smite available though. For 300 white. Sunny will be able to split out that ward at least. So yeah, resets come through, but top lane tower picked up now as well. This Cassante is only going to become tankier and tankier. Tristana and Ziggs are scaling very, very well into this game. And the Sylas is an absolute menace, an absolute problem that Fnatic just cannot deal with. And it looks like Fnatic might have to force it out there on the Attica. This might be a desperation play here as Soap is available as well. The teleport almost ready for Instinct as well if he wants to join into the field. The pool is just gonna barely miss out here onto the Leona. I mean, 300 white, they have no reason to force this Attica right now. Oh, Turtle, he gets locked down. The chains are gonna connect. He's gonna get blown up here to bits and pieces, but he stays alive somehow. Questionable dropping low as well. Let's get the Sonya, stays alive for a bit more longer, but finally gets taken down here. Knife May now finally into the backline, using the all-out, but Senny's still staying alive in the backline, gets stood down, gets taken down. It's Instinct all on his own right now. It's a triple kill for Manuel, looking to make that a quarter kill together with Barry B. They shut down the entirety of Pandaric. And it started to look a little good there for Pandaric, but there's just so much time that this Cassante Sylas duo can buy for the carries to shine through in the end. And that's exactly what we see here. It is the Tristana fully online. And it's only gonna get worse now. With a quarter kill in the back pocket here, we'll have to see what items coming through, but it's definitely gonna be an Infinity Edge and probably a bit more as well. There we go, the seal on top of that as well. So damage will be multiplied here for the Tristana. The problems are only getting worse here for Pandaric. Yeah, the Rise is just not cutting it at the moment. The scaling is not there yet. It's just a Rod of Ages, an arm guard, and you know, some components there. In the meantime, we almost have a free item 6 on the other hand. Fully stacked Dark Seal as well. The damage is just unmatched at the moment. Alright. Keeper's Verdict will be channeled. And Pandaric will at least be able to collect some more gold. But once again, the Atagon will be started off here. And Pandaric, there are no place to contest it. They're once again just giving up this objective. And they will look towards the Cassante. They will look for another tower in the top side. I mean, last game they tried the exact same, and it looks like, once again, 3-0 white, they realize Pandaric are not going for this objective, it's a 1v1, and Manuel wins it out. Again, 300 white, they're very aware Pandaric is not contesting this objective at all. They realize this, they sent members to the rest of the map here, and they're looking to contest this. At least Pandaric will this time around be able to secure the tower. And again, the Keeper's Verdict will be cancelled out on. And I mean, it was pretty close to that 1v1 in the mid lane. That was an opportunity for Sandy to find that kill. Unfortunately, he has the cleanse and not the barrier. That could have been the difference maker. Yeah, I mean, look at this Tristana. Now on 3.5 items already. It's going to be such a problem in those team fights. Soap now looking desperately for a kill. But again, the Tristana and Barry B right there to support their jungler. And also, let's not forget, like, Pandaric, they don't have the best engage, and this time around it's Barry B on a poke champion. Like a really long range poke champion. And if you don't find that engage, they can just sit back and let the 3-item Ziggs just poke away these health bars from Pandaric, making life so difficult. And Mountain Soul now also collected by 300 white. If this Sylas Cassante duo was already buying too much time, add on a Mountain Soul on top of that, I feel like you're in big trouble. And I'm not sure how Pandaric is going to dig themselves out of this hole. The Baron being started off now as well. And yeah, they can't contest. It's already too late. The teleport is coming in for Instinct. They might just force out this fight here as Pandaric basically gets baited in. They stall out that Baron fight. Sandy stays alive, but Ranger is already just basically dead here. And so is Soap. Everyone on the side of Pandaric is absolutely annihilated. And just like that, it's over. That should be the game here. As the teleports come through. And once again, it is just one fight for 300 white. That basically puts the entire game in their hand and they never let go of it. And actually, well, the surrender comes through. Pandaric speeding things up a little bit. GG's to 300 white, well played. They play the map extremely well together. Questionable played a fantastic Xylus in both games as well. And unfortunately, that means we are probably stuck at third place. But you know, it is what it is. I hope Panera can at least, you know, come back to these games and learn something from them. Because, you know, even though, you know, I feel like Throne and White definitely outclassed us. It's not like we got mega stumped, you know. These are fast games, but, you know, for like the first 15 minutes, I feel like we're doing a pretty damn good job into those games. And then it really is just that one fight where we lose control over the game. And Throne and White just absolutely puts the nails in the coffin from that point forward. So yeah, we'll have to look if Panera can look back at these games and learn something from that. They maybe disagree a bit on the draft or whatnot. I feel like the draft from game 1 might be a bit tough, but I feel like this draft was very doable. They do lack engage for the Ziggs though, which is a bit rough if you don't hit the public execution from the Ambessa. But you know, it is what it is. Let's hope the guys can reset for playoffs, and you know, hopefully we can make it to Division 2, because that's really the end goal here. I actually have no idea when the playoff starts, I'm not gonna lie. Does it say somewhere? Oh, it says here. We are starting playoffs on the 5th of December. So, you know, it seems like there's going to be a week break, and then the week after, so around 2 weeks basically, the playoffs will begin. So, you know, the guys will have plenty of time to just sit back a little bit and reflect on these games against the One-Man Army and against 300 White, the top dogs of this group, that they both got 2-0 by. So hopefully they can learn from that, and they can cook up something for the playoffs, and then hopefully we can make it to Division 2. That'll be obviously pretty big for Paneric if they can make it there. But yeah, definitely a lot of work to be done still for the guys. But regardless, that was it for me for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the games, even though we got stumped. But, you know, like I said, it is what it is. Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the cast, enjoyed the games. And until the next one, until playoffs, into 2 weeks. And I wish you guys a very good day. And until the next one. Bye-bye.